What do you mean? Tim's live? That's crazy. Is he actually live or doing stuff? I almost feel like I should just get off out of respect. Should I just get off? Is that the play? Oh, he's playing City Skyline? What a fucking nerd, bro. Cozy Day? This guy's a cozy streamer now? That's crazy.
I think I saw something on this.
That was the strangest thing. I just started playing the last stream from Discord. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. He has priorities? Yeah, I know. Weird. I don't understand why he did that for. I was just trying to play my goddamn music. And it's like, yeah, we're going to use Discord instead. Let's fucking go. Hi, guys. Oh, shit. I forgot to start the YouTube one. Hello. Very excited for the new Digimon game. I took a peek. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. That is good. I am so weirdly out of it right now. I have no idea what's going on. But my body feels super weird. When my late came back tomorrow, I know, for real. My body feels so weird right now. Like, I feel like woozy, but not in like a bad way. Just like in either a very like weirdly calm way or just like maybe it's sickness or something. Who knows? Hi Alex, hi chat. How you guys all doing? What's up? What's up? Oh, but yeah, how's your guys' Sunday treating you so far? Hopefully good. Hopefully everyone's doing well. That's crazy though. Happy Sunday? Yeah, dude. I'm struggling with desoldering a few particular switches and it's driving me bonkers. Are you using a desoldering gun? Or is it the solder sucker? Sitting in an airport waiting for my flight? Where are you going? How is the airport life treating you though? How long have you been there? Pump? Oh dude, the pumps are so tough, Cyber. I struggle with the pumps too. You just gotta keep at it, unfortunately. Probably not the answer you want to hear. Can you buy it for me? The Digimon game? Isn't it kind of expensive? Good here, didn't have anything to do this week and it felt great. Honestly, that kind of became my yesterday. Other than clean up a little bit, not even my workroom, just cleaning up other areas of our place. Like, it ended up just being kind of a relaxed day. And then we even went to the mall, which was fun. Dude, anyone watch Valorant Champs Final earlier? I have not. I'm actually not too into watching the Valorant stuff, believe it or not. The Digimon game is like 100 CAD. Is it actually 100 CAD? I thought it was 80 CAD. Hi Mia, how you doing, CU? Why is Bowl not a Black Circle vendor on your list? Is he not a Red Circle? Because he's a sponsor? Or did I forget to put a red? I'm pretty sure he's a Red Circle. Yeah. It's because I also, first of all, I'm actually not an affiliate with Bowl. Bowl doesn't have an affiliate thing. So he sponsors me though, so it's transparent there. He sponsors the channel, so he's a Red Circle. But yeah, the Black Circles mean affiliates or people that, I mean, typically it's affiliates or people that I've shipped or bought from. Or no, sorry, Blue Circles are affiliates. Black Circles are people I've bought from. But yeah, the list is pretty up to date. I might have to do some updates to the list this weekend. There's actually a few other companies that I need to put as Black Circles that I've ordered from in the last like year. And then there's a few more I need to add, and I think I actually have to get rid of a few vendors. I think some of them have completely closed down now. So I might have to do some reorganizing of the list. Black Circle says someone you work with, so does the Maya. Well, okay, I can't. Here's my reasoning for not including every circle per list. Let me switch cameras first of all. Okay, let me know if this makes sense. And first of all, hello. If I've purchased from someone, they're a Black Circle. if I'm affiliated with someone, they're a blue circle, which kind of trumps the black circle. Because I've either gotten stuff done with them and like worked with them, so it's kind of redundant to put also the black circle. If someone's a sponsor, which means like they help out the channel financially, so they allow us to kind of keep doing what we're doing, or they send us product, stuff like that, like on a regular basis, they are a red circle, which kind of, again, it kind of defeats the purpose of being like, oh yeah, this is also like a black circle plus a blue circle. Like, I just feel like it's kind of redundant at that point. So I don't know. I feel like that's like my classifications of all the circles. I can do it where everyone has like 3 circles, but it would be kind of confusing. Don't you guys think? Also, Chayo, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you. Looking mighty fine. I'm looking kind of beat up today, dude. I'm so pooped. This week is crazy. Blue Jays versus Yankees. Battlefield 6 coming out, and I have the day off on Friday. I got the Digimon game to play, and I got 2 fire drills that we got to go through. Very high and low week. Fire drills are a tough thing to do. What are fire drills like? Tat? No, I knew you meant yay. Looking forward to the Neo 80 content. Okay, I actually have a question for you guys. For the Neo 80, I've gotten 2 or 3 requests. It's not a whole lot, but I've gotten 2 or 3 people, which has never really happened, by the way, requesting that I use Cherry MX Blacks with the Neo 80 CU. I was just going to use a long pull switch, but if you guys want, I can mod some Cherry MX Blacks, but totally up to you guys. Totally up to you guys. Can we all just give you a bunch of subs? Are we all channel sponsors? Technically. Is the hospital a massive pain in the ass? Toronto Fire will be observing us this drill. Oh, in the hospital. Oh, so I gotta make sure you guys do everything. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. MX Blacks seem... Yeah, like, I'm a little nervous to use the MX Blacks, but some people requested it. So I was wondering what you guys also thought. So, Nixies? Well, I don't know. I don't know what we'll use. I'm just as confused with you as you guys. I don't know what to use for the Neo 80 CU. I do think going with like a long pull switch is probably the play, I want to say. So, no thoughts, head empty. Bro, honestly, I'm kind of head empty right now too, bro. I didn't watch Lightning, nor did I watch Patty for those. I try to not watch other people's content prior to a board being released, or me looking at it, so I don't feel like swayed. How am I feeling on the Haven60? Interesting question. Very interesting question. I want it to be good. I think I have high hopes, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys kind of scared me with something. A few people told me that they watched another person build the Haven60 and it didn't sound very good, but then they also said it was the switches they used, which makes me kind of like, I'm a little nervous now. Like, some people were saying they were looking forward to my stream for that, and I don't know. I don't know if the board's gonna be good or not, but we can only hope, I guess. We can only hope. Let's see. Good morning, you beautiful people. Hi, Jedi. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday and you have great breakfasts. Yes, I hope so too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the board's gonna sound hollow, but the board starts at 320-ish USD, and then there's another spec of the board that costs... Actually, how much is this USD? Let's see. 420. So I guess there's a $100 price range here. Eamon, thank you so much for a tier 1 for 6 months in advance, man. Thank you, man. The build had Mirandies. Oh yes, that was the switch that someone else used. I'm gonna be using Gator on Milky Yellows, like the full Milky Yellows today. So this is what, with 63.5 gram springs. So actually, dude, I got secret time. I got kind of tilted this morning with these switches. I was just going to use the stock spring because honestly, I'm running low on 63.5 gram springs. And I was like, let me just use stock springs. I kid you not. I picked up a spring, I lubed it, and I'm like, why does this feel so heavy? I put them down. I picked up another switch, lubed it and filmed it. I still filmed them. The next one felt really light. And I remembered that Gateron has like a minus like 15 or 20 gram tolerance on these switches for their stock ones. So I think I picked up a switch that was probably like 70 grams, and then I picked up the next switch and it was like 45 grams. And it was like clear as day that there was a huge difference. Which makes me like further the point that some stock springs are legit ass. So if you guys ever want a good way to make sure your springs are good, and it says on the website, these are plus minus anything above 5 in my opinion. Dude, Gateron's stock springs are some of the craziest tolerance ranges I've ever seen. I think it's actually plus minus 20. I don't even think I'm correct on saying 15. I'm pretty sure it's 20. Now I'm kind of curious. Now I want to go look it up. I think cherry's around the same. Gateron milky yellows. Let's see if I can find the spec sheet for this really quickly. I think I'm wrong, and I think they're 20. Specifications. No, I'm not going to say on this website. Maybe Diviniki's. Let's see. No, it's not going to say here. I had a spec sheet in front of me, and I read plus minus, I think 15 or 20. So I'm stuck with Gateron stock reds for a while, and they're a bit sad. Yeah, they definitely need a little. Gateron switches in general need some touch-ups. Last I saw was plus minus 10, but I wouldn't be surprised if they upped it. It might have been 10 as well, but I felt the difference, man. I was like, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of blown away. I was like, this is kind of crazy. So it was clear as day. But yeah, what'd you guys end up doing yesterday? Everyone have a good Saturday? Me and my girlfriend and some friends went to the mall. We went to a new store called Simon's or something. Honestly, kind of disappointing. Not that I bought anything. We got a $7 butter thing and then $10 shorts because they were on discount. But honestly, very, very like... Okay, first of all, dude, the malls... I haven't been to a mall in a long time. I hate going to the malls. I think that reminded me of just how many people stand around and just like chill, and you just want to like move from point A to point B. And I get it, it's like, you know, it's the mall, but like, oh my god, I can't stand it, dude. Mostly did chores, hell yeah. Yeah, we never had one here until like literally. Oh well, I don't know when it opened up, but Ernesto, what's up, dude? You caught some Metagross and Go and tried to get an Ester Tea in Minecraft. Oh man, I didn't play games at all yesterday. Honestly, when we got home, we ended up chit-chatting for a bit, and then dude, I tried to watch a movie and passed out halfway through the movie. Been hooked on your MC server? I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, man. Do you fuck with Greek yogurt? Yes. Okay, one of my favorite flavors of Greek yogurt is the banana flavored Oikos flavor. It's so damn good. I love that flavor, man. That flavor hits. Love that thing. But yeah, I do fuck with yogurt. It's funny because we literally were talking about this yesterday. Love yogurt though. I used to be so into cherry yogurt. Cherry was like my jam. But cherry, I don't know. Cherry feels like it tastes a little different. I tried a lemon meringue one last time. It was okay. One flavor that this is kind of weird because I feel like it's a polar opposite. I don't like vanilla for yogurts. I'm not a vanilla guy when it comes to yogurt flavors at all. I hate it. I think it tastes nasty. Dude, bro, how you been keeping up with build streams? Doesn't seem as popular on Twitch. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, Captain. It's people will come and go depending on the board. I think people are... Okay, here's the thing. I actually do think people are interested in keyboards. I just think that the world's moving at a different pace now and people don't have time to watch on Twitch. I also think numbers were inflated at one point. I don't think the people have like lost interest in watching keyboard streams. I think it has to do with the Twitch bots that were always hanging around. Because dude, even when I was offline, there was like 30 accounts sitting on the channel. Now when I'm offline, there's like 4 accounts. So I think it's like a mix of things, but I don't think keyboards are like slowing down at all. I just think people are busy with other things, and people probably want to watch on YouTube. Yeah, they cracked down on bots like big time. They cracked down on bots like huge. Also, did I turn on the YouTube stream? I think I did, right? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Alex, I decided to get myself some blueberry milk linears after reading it on your list. I'm very excited to test them. They're pretty good. Honestly, I enjoy them. They're pretty darn good. I think you'll enjoy it too. There's so many keycap sets on GB this month. Dude. And on top of that, there's so many crazy keyboards right now that are being released as well. Yeah, like there's definitely people on YouTube as well. Also, what's up, YouToy? How you doing, man? You know what else I think has deterred? Okay, hear me out. This is totally separate thing at this point. I think also people have been slightly deterred from using Twitch in other countries. Because Twitch did this thing now where Twitch said, you used to be able to watch in full quality, but now you're getting punished and you can only watch in 720. So I think people moved their interest to other platforms at this point, which honestly like makes sense. I don't blame people. It's kind of screwed up that they did that too. Yeah, which I think is why people ended up moving to YouTube to watch instead. Do I stream upcoming GB content? Not anymore, but I plan on maybe getting into that. But I kind of been doing the same thing where I build keyboards as they come in or as they get announced type thing. Got an MX Master 4 in the plastic for some reason makes my hands sweat like hell. Really? So it's still shitty. It's still a shitty coating of some sort. Is it feel better though? Like, or is it just sweaty feeling? It's like I just realized, when was this 720p? They changed it for a lot of countries. Bandwidth problems. I honestly have no fucking clue what their issue is and why they did that. But this is, I think, also why a lot of people have been really fed up with Twitch. And I'm not afraid to say it too. Like, it's annoying. Like, it's terrible that like I was able to offer everyone a really high quality stream at one point, and then Twitch is like, no, you're literally forced to use 720p. So again, I think that's why people move to like other platforms at this point here. It's much better. This person has just sweaty hands. Oh, okay. It feels basically the same, but the plastic is just hotter. I wonder if it's just like a really hot mouse on the inside that's kind of, you know, like going outwards. Kind of weird question. Any idea what a custom PCB would cost? Oh, like a single unit? I actually have no clue. I've never ordered a singular PCB like that before. I'm actually not sure at all. I really don't know. That is not a good question for me, unfortunately, Shiny Trash. I'm so sorry. Alex, have you ever modded MX Blues? I have once. Never again, though. Never again. 1,000 plus for one PCB? Damn, that's crazy. That's honestly crazy. That is pretty high. Issue with YouTube is that it's nowhere close to what when it comes to the community vibe for some reason. Yeah, but here's the thing too. Like, we've been using YouTube for not all the streams, but some of the streams, and I will say, the people on YouTube, even people watching right now, not to say that Twitch is better, because at one point I was like, yes, Twitch is where the community's at, but I will say, like, the people watching on YouTube right now, and even in the past streams, everyone's been like super chill. Like, it feels like pretty good even on YouTube right now for keyboard stuff. I will say, at the height of keyboard stuff, YouTube chat was definitely a bit more childish. Like, it was a lot of like, can I have something for free? But I think now that people have kind of like settled in, we have such a great community on both. So I'm not really concerned about that per se, but it's just, yeah, I don't really agree with Twitch's take on kind of limiting everyone to 720p. Also, hi, I'm Jungle. How you doing? Can I have a smile for free? Of course. Oh. Hey, Alex, how would you compare the granites to, say, milky yellows? I think they're very close to milky yellows. So full milky yellows like this in particular, they're very close. I do think granites can be a little bit more, just a smidge higher pitch in some boards, especially for spacebars. I would say they're closer, well, actually not really. I would say they're kind of in between these and then the black bottom milky yellows. So they're kind of in between. I like both switches equally though. Can I have something for free? What are we doing? Also, are you guys going to come to the Toronto meetup? Who will I be seeing there? Ooh, this is heavy. Okay, let's take a look at the keyboard today, shall we, guys? Haven60 starts at $320. Tons of different colors. There is a lavender, crimson, I should say lilac plus lavender, silver plus crimson, silver, navy, and a bunch of other colors, black and white, and a gray copper. It's, I just hope it sounds good. Honestly, I remember us using the original Haven. It had some small issues. Unfortunately, I don't have like a huge change sheet of what's been modified on the board. I kind of just have like a little general sell page here. So I guess we'll kind of go. I don't have the original Haven either. So let's open it up. You got that right, Type. Should I send you the points of change? Yeah, Feather, do you mind? I'd actually love to know that, Feather. I didn't even know you had a change list. Can you DM it to me? So I guess let's see. Price point at starting at $320 is really good. Now, one thing, if you guys remember, about all the Haven products by, I can't even pronounce this correctly. I don't know why. Atelier, whatever. I know I'm mispronouncing it. It's always been beautiful. The boards are gorgeous looking keys. In fact, I will say, like, they're quite unique. So I'm really happy this has a starting price of $320 for the stainless steel. Although I do think that the jump to copper, being an extra $100 for, I guess, the mid piece, or I'm assuming, I guess we have to figure this out because I'm not exactly sure how some of these work, is quite expensive. And then there's an even more expensive one, which I think is an extra $50 on top of that, where it's kind of another, I think that's an HE one, I believe, although I'm not too sure exactly what that means, because it just says HE in front of it. But let's take a look. Also, maybe Feather sent me the notes. I'll wait for him to DM me, then we'll talk about that. Let's see which one they sent over. Silver, and I think this is the copper bottom. Ooh. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful keyboard. It is a beautiful looking keyboard. Let's take out some of the foam here. Prices go $320, $400, and $430. Oh, my conversions must be terrible right now, because my conversions from Hong Kong dollars say 320, 420, and then 450. So what's going on here? All right, beautiful. I think this definitely needs to be assembled for us to really take a better look at this, but like, sexy side profile. I mean, good looking keyboard here. You know, I think last time we built this, I had the PVD bottom. I will admit, the copper bottom is way prettier. Look at this. Even the butt of this keyboard's really nice. I guess I'll zoom in a little bit, huh? The butt's super nice on this. Like, it just has a lot of details everywhere, which is exactly what you want to see in a board. I actually, by the way, love to see this rather. Love this angled seam that kind of tapers downwards here. I think the seam on this is absolutely gorgeous. It has a gyat. Damn, dude. Absolutely stunning seam on this. A little bit of a recessed USB-C cable. Lots of different layers here on the butt as well. Very cool. Got little Haven signature over here. We have some feet that we'll put on here in a moment. Yeah, lots of character. I think the only thing that I'm a little concerned of which might depend on the switches you use, is it just has a copper internal over here, which, judging by, again, the history of me using copper internal pieces, even when they're stepped, I do find that full copper internal pieces end up sounding a little bit more, for lack of a better word, muted or dulled. But not every board's the same, so maybe this will sound a little bit brighter, but very pretty. We have some hidden screws here, so these will be underneath the PCB, or underneath the PCB plate combo, but very pretty. Silver is honestly one of the better colors for this board too. It looks gorgeous. Yeah, you can really only see, like, it's a big chunk of copper. The board is weighty as well, so. I don't know. I think these are, if I remember from last time, I think it's like polycarbonate pieces for the LEDs that sit over here. So you can kind of see my fingers through them. So I'm pretty sure that's still the case. Pretty sure. So let's see, did Feather end up messaging me? Oh, here, little change list. Removed mounting spot under the space bar, thank goodness. And modified the symmetrical mounting points. Production units will have a pogo pin connector. Oh, okay, that's awesome. So we're not gonna have a ribbon cable. It'll be pogo on the final units. That is nice to hear. I really appreciate that. Because I was gonna say, I really was hoping they did away with the ribbon cable here, but very nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, it's definitely a different currency, Jedi. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's a gorgeous board. All right, what do we got here in the box? I can't tell what these are. I think these are gaskets. Let's see what else we got. I think they sent us a few plates here to try out. We have a PE sheet, another extra ribbon cable just in case. We have a hot swap PCB and a solder PCB. The hot swap PCB is this one. And then we have a few different plates as well, although I don't know which is which. We'll have to open them up. And then what else do we got? Oh, yeah, so there are the polycarbonate blockers. Adam, what's up, man? Honestly, that kind of scared the living shit out of me. I didn't hear the pen pop. I didn't hear it, so I was like, dude, the cavities in the back and the side, these will get plugged in with these little polycarbonate pieces. The plate with the screw cutout is for top mount, the other one's for gasket. Oh, they're both the same material? Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay, well, we'll take a look. And then we have... what's this for, Feather? Is this just like a extension cable? What is this for? Is it all it is? Just in case your cable is too short for Type-C. Oh, I mean, that's a nice inclusion. Yeah, and Feather, what does HE mean on the order sheet here? Because I see SE, FE, and HE. What's HE mean? Because I also don't know what that means. I've never seen HE as a terminology. Highlight edition? Oh, what's the highlight editions look like? Is there a picture of those? Are they just shiny? Oh, highlighted chamfers. Okay, that makes sense. Which, believe it or not, I'm actually not a huge fan of. All right, let's put some feet on. The man, the myth, the legend, Clackbait. Dude, Clackbait is a legend. Feet. But there will be Hall Effect PCBs compatible with the Haven. Oh, get out of town, really? That's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah. All right. Now we're gonna use milky yellows today, because why not? Why not, dude? And then I think for the PCB today, I'm gonna do the solder PCB because, listen, I'm gonna give this keyboard its best shot right now, okay? So, I know what you guys are thinking. Alex, why would you say solder is the best shot? I just feel comfortable doing solder. I think solder, I hope I have enough solder actually, because my solder comes in, the rest of my solder comes in tomorrow. It's all I have left. I personally think solder variants of keyboards sound a smidge different, so I want to give it its best shot. Okay? Now, I think I'm going to do gasket mount because that's what I feel more comfortable doing today. So we're going to give this one shot here with Milky Yellows. And I'm hoping the gasket mounts turn out really good. I'm hoping. I know you just want to stay longer with us. A little bit of that too. I just really want to spend time with you guys. That's it. I don't get why most of the new boards have copper weights or bottom. I much preferred brass for the higher pitch. Good amount of reverb and gold color and cheaper price. I'm kind of on the opposite side of that. I actually don't think I notice a crap ton of difference between copper and brass in general, but I have been kind of curious as to why all these boards are doing, like, kind of, in some cases, fully standard all copper internals. But like aluminum in some cases. How come you're never on the Culpiverse server? I logged in the other day. Honestly, Adam, I've just been really busy and tired, man. Life ain't slowing down, unfortunately. Life ain't slowing down. Shake my head. Trust me, man. I would like to just spend a few days not doing anything and finally catching up on chores and playing some games, but bro, it is not slowing down anytime soon. Which, you know what? Gotta be grateful for in a lot of ways, but man, it's tough. It is tough, bro. Isn't the earliest human written ever language complaining about a seller's bad quality copper? Is it actually? What are my thoughts on all the foams? So nice. Thank you, Pin. Appreciate your prime here. Also, the combos, thank you guys. I have no quarrels with foams. I don't really use foams much myself, but on occasion, I do like making a very foamy build. However, to be honest with you guys, I'm still kind of in that mindset where if a keyboard really wants to shine and to be a super good purchase for all-arounders, I think a keyboard needs to be good with and without foam. And it's easier to be good with foam than it is to be without. So again, bit of a maybe old school mindset, but I do think a good board has to be good with both. Otherwise, I don't mind foam. One of my favorite boards in my collection is my thermal, and I used foam in it. So, if that means anything to you guys. Alright, let's get the solder PCB out. We'll also take a look at the Haza one. Toy, thank you again for the tier 1, man. I prefer alu bots with brass copper weights, or that full fat alu that's well machined. Also, these nuts. What's up, Toy? I don't know why it's not reading that one. Alright, here we go for the PCB again. These will have pogo pin connectors on it on the final unit. Lots of options. This is a WinKey or WinKeyless board though, so there's going to be a fixed 7U spacebar. That's the only fixed aspect of the solder unit here. Pretty nice, can't complain. Even ISO, which is nice to see. Like to see ISO on this. I haven't tuned in for a while because I moved to Europe. If I started scratching the itch again after watching YouTube, I bought into the Space 80. Dude, I hope you love it. It's so good. The Space 80 is fantastic. So kind of you to go split backspace this time. We'll see. And then here is the PCB for hot swap. So nice. Other than missing ISO, this is actually pretty good as well. We have split back, split right shift, step caps. I mean, we're getting fixed bottom, but yeah, this is like pretty nice. It doesn't give you just a fixed layout and says, have at it. It gives you a bunch of different options as well. So pretty nice. Keeb-unk. I don't know if that's a shot at me or not, but thank you so much for the tier 1, man. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you, bro. Space 80 and Manta. Coming first half of next year going to be hype. Dude, I'm so happy people have been really enjoying the whole Space 80 stuff. It's so cool that it came back. Bro subbed to himself? That's crazy. With no hands. All right, so this is the plate we're probably gonna use. This is the gasket plate here. Oh my God, please, open. I missed out on the manta. We'll have extras. We already planned for, not a lot, but some extras, so don't stress. Is there gonna be a separate plate for ISO? Because I see no ISO compatibility with this plate. So it would be nice to see. I don't know if I saw that on the website at all. Is there like an extra plate you can buy? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. What's nice is they do give you both of these plates with purchasing. So you get 2 aluminum plates with your hot swap PCB. So that's nice too. ISO will have the plate file released. Okay, so you will get an ISO plate file released. Okay, so good for people who want that in the long run. Cool though. I do appreciate the board coming with 2 plates as well, which is fun. All right, I guess we can literally start. But yeah, I will be soldering this in, and I think for stabilizers today, I'll probably just use some Cherry MX or Cherry stabilizers today. So let me go get some. I'm looking forward to the Neo 80CU and how it compares to the Neo 75. Dude, I'm kind of nervous to do that stream now. I am nervous. Everyone has me a little bit nervous for that stream. I hope I don't let you guys down with it, that's all. I hope I don't. I just stubbed my foot. Mark, how you doing, bro? How are you been? Your desk should be extremely nervous. My desk should? Wait, why? Oh, because it's a heavy board? Is that why? Is that the sole reason? Do you guys want split backspace on this? Split or full? I'll leave it up to you guys, man. It's a 12-pound box? I have it here. It didn't feel 12 pounds. Always split, full. Also for gasket plate, make sure you mount the switches on the right side. The tab should be stepped down. Wait, what happened? Wait. Make sure you mount the switches on the right side. The tab should be stepped down like the image I sent you. Oh. Tab should be stepped down. Oh, okay. Wait, is it? Can you fuck that up? No, you can't fuck that up. I've never seen a split left shift board before. Well, we're not gonna do split left, split backspace. Why never split the new Neo? I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of people watching, and I still get nerves every now and then, and I feel like that's gonna be a very controversial board in a few manners of speaking. So, because I feel like I've already gotten some people about they hate the way it looks. I always get a little nervous when that happens. So, yeah, because I feel like, to be honest, I feel like people are gonna want my opinion to validate their opinions. So I always get a little nervous because I'm not gonna lie, but still makes me a wee bit nervous, to be honest with you guys. Just a little bit. Also, how does this board look from the side over here? We never really looked. It does look nice. Ooh, why does my desk feel so cramped today? Very pretty, very pretty. What's the new Neo? Haven't been keeping up for a while. The new Neo 80CU. I think it's going to be honestly a really popular one. I think a lot of people are really going to like it regardless. But let's open this up. But yeah, we have it booked for Tuesday. So Tuesday will be the Neo 80CU day, guys. Captain and Patty stream seemed like they had to like it. Overall minor critiques. That's good. We'll see how we feel about it too. When is the Toronto meetup? Shoot, now I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's November. honestly, I'm going. I already got my ticket. Bought it the other day. I hope to see you guys there too if you guys are from Toronto or plan on coming down. That should be a fun one. I'm going to bring some fun boards to that one there. I'm going to bring the Manta as well. That'll be the first time I get to bring the Manta to like a bigger meetup. November 15th. There you guys go. What's a good full sounding HMX switch? Okay, honestly, any of the newer HMX stuff are all pretty nice and full. Not even fronting. I think all the new ones are definitely good. Okay, that coffee, dude, is actually hitting the spot right now. I think I needed that so badly. I had to double coffee today. The first coffee didn't hit properly. I have no clue why. But it did not hit. Hope you're having a nice day. I mean, so far so good. Kind of just started. We have some errands we need to run after stream today, so there's that. And then I'm hoping I get to make some nice dinner. So, how about you? I am trimming the stabilizers. So, if you guys didn't know, these are cherry clip-ins. Some of the cheapest stabilizers you can buy on the market. And you have to clip them, or else they kind of feel mushy and squishy. So I'm clipping them right now. Really looking forward to your new impressions. Thanks, Mina. I'll be streaming that on both YouTube and Twitch on Tuesday, so I hope to see you guys there. Hope to see you guys. Alright, I think I'm done with these. Let me just put this away. I need to I was so good there for a little bit. I need to start cleaning again as I go. So mad at myself. Okay, today I was like, dude, what happened to those milky yellows I lubed for this stream? And I lubed them like 2 days ago. So I did a batch of these. And I couldn't find them. And I was like, there's no way I lost them, man. I literally... I was putting away the boxes, and they're in a drawer, and above that drawer is my cameras, and they were sitting with my cameras. That's okay. I have an extra batch of switches. I don't even know, dude. I don't know. I've been doing this so much now, where I just, I didn't have a spot for that, and I wanted it out of my way, so I put it in a random spot. My God, dude. I just saw that and now I'm pissed off. So I rushed to do this batch here. I put my milk in the pantry before, it's okay. I almost did that one time, man. I've put stuff in the fridge by accident sometimes. You run on autopilot, you know, and then sometimes you don't realize what you're doing. We all do that? Dude. How can I make my milky yellows less mushy? Less lubricant. Milky yellows are great with just a smidge of lube. I don't think you need to go crazy with those. I put my phone in the fridge before. That one's crazy, actually. What have I done for food? I think there was one time I started the oven up and then I meant to cook something and then put a timer on but never put the food in. So there was one time I did that. Luckily, it was just like a pizza, and I only waited like 15 minutes, and then I opened the oven and scratching my head. So that's, I think, the worst that I've ever done. I was like, what happened to it, bro? Are they milky yellows savory in flavor? Depends. You can get milky yellows that are a bit more like salty, you know? Sometimes they're a bit sweeter, depending on how ripe for the milky yellows. Can the copper absorb your bad vibes? Like the copper bracelets. Dude, do you ever remember? Okay. Hyper-specific memory. I don't know if you guys had this everywhere, but we had malls here where, like... I don't see them at all anymore, by the way. I do not see this. I think this was like a one-time thing in the early 2000s. You'd be at malls, and there'd be people selling like these bracelets, and they were like energy bracelets. And I swear to God, at every mall, there was 2 or 3 guys who would stop you and tell you, like, it would remove all the bad energy. My mom still wears ones. The positive ion ones, dude, that's what they were. And I remember people actually, like, would line up in some cases to buy them. And then one day they all just disappeared. Like, it's like Thanos just snapped them all out of existence. But it was great. I just remember it. And I remember watching everyone buy one. I'm like, man, what are you guys doing? There's a hilarious clip of Mark Cuban just showing a guy who came up to them with those. Oh, for like what, Dragon's Den or whatever it's called? Do you mean form a queue? Okay, you know what, Cass? One of those companies went on Shark Tank and got chewed out. Ain't no way. I want to see that episode now. Do you guys have a link? I can't watch it right now, but one time I remember the dishwasher, one time I ran the dishwasher and forgot to put the detergent in. Dude, that's a feels bad moment, because that takes a while too. That's a feels bad, Martin. You should pitch the Manta through Shark Tank. Nah, I don't think that would make sense there. Any updates on the C9 stream? October 15th still. It's still set for October 15th. I haven't gotten any news about postponing it any further, so we shall see. Where's my mouse? Ain't no, I want to watch this later. I need to watch this. Bro, ain't no way someone went on Shark Tank with that stupid ass thing. Ain't no way. Like, what's the I'm gonna sit here wondering and not understand. That is crazy to me. The demonstration is so good. Like the way that they demoed the bracelet. That is hilarious. Dude. I don't get it, man. My mom sells shirts infused with red clay that are supposed to harm your soul. Harm your soul? Damn. I don't want my soul to be harmed. Warm. Oh, I was like, damn. Yeah, those are very diabolical shirts. Damn. If you guys want to see more BS, look for the Hildgard Organ Accumulator. Probably only German results, but they sell basically a wooden board for 1,500 euros. What does it do? What does that even do? She's nice, I swear. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Weesh. I'll take your word for it. Would you rather go on Simon's podcast or Norbauer's? To do what? Like talk about keyboard stuff? I don't really. Rashab, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if my ideology
Happy Sunday,
of what
Papa
keyboards are
Alexotos
aligned
Stash
with
and Chat.
theirs.
Here's your daily dose of nonsense.
Thank you,
Frogs
Crummy.
can't hop on ice due to reduced friction on their feet.
So what happens when they hop on ice? Do they just like float? What happens to them? They just slide away? But yeah, Rishav, your question, would I rather go on Simon's or Norbauer's podcast? I don't think my ideology of what keyboards are align with either person's. And if it's just talking about keyboards, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. My mind is set in stone of what this hobby is to me. And I don't think it works with anyone's. So, no, this is not a commission build. We're just building this to show off and take a look and criticize the board. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I view boards and keyboards as a fun hobby, as an expressionistic hobby of people's artwork. You can still find objective things to be upset about with keyboards for sure, and you can still find objective things to be, insightful about and improve upon. But I will never ever take the hobby as seriously as I will never go as far to take it as more serious than that. There are bad products, and there could be bad people behind those products, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want to assume that everyone's intention is that. I want to keep the hobby, for me, as something that we do for fun and that we appreciate and that we can celebrate and like ultimately brings all of us together. I don't see it as like anything more than that, to be honest. It is a fun hobby, and there are going to be people who take it a step further, and I appreciate them for that. But I am always going to be more community-based rather than, you know, a keyboard is only great because X, Y, and Z, and whatever, you know. Like, that's my ideology of what keyboards are. It's, at the end of the day, it's community, it's the people you hang out with, it is your downtime, you know? And obviously, there's still responsibility with that, but that's what a hobby is to me. Gray Hands, thank you so much for the Prime. I appreciate it, man. Neither yours or Simon's view of the hobby is really shared on mechanical keyboards based on Trainwreck that happened last night when someone got lambasted for sharing their 5-plus-year-old. Pause? What happened, Martin? Do you have a link? I'm curious. I saw that post. Well, yeah, I'll take a look if you guys send me. Kind of like, if it is what I think it is, that kind of pisses me off a little bit. Some guy has a shit ton of GM keycaps. He posted. Most of them seem to be still wrapped, and people are saying he's has a shopping addiction. All right, let me see. Let me see. I mean, so this is all of his keycaps. Let's just say each one's $100. How many? Actually, no, fuck. That's literally not the point. Like, you know why that pisses me off a little bit? Because if I were to go to any other hobbyist forum and post, hey, I bought my dream car and it's a Porsche 911 or something, you know? No one would say boo all other than maybe congratulations, you worked so hard. But someone like buys a bunch of keycaps and like over the course of 5 fucking years, like that's not. That actually like pisses me off a little bit. But I mean, it's to be expected because listen, I'll say this, and I don't really care because I don't really vibe with the Reddit threads and stuff too much. I've always felt like Reddit has been like a circle jerk for, you know, really just budget stuff. And that's fine. People can like budget things. But again, it's not fine when you push your ideologies onto people. And I've always felt that way. So it feels like if you spend a little bit more than people want you to spend, it's suddenly you're the issue. Which is not fun to deal with. So to me, this is just a lot of projecting. It's a lot of projecting, so. Again, I'm sure if it was something that they really liked and they were happy to see people spend money on things, it'd be different, but yeah. 30 per large tax, probably 10K, so 2K per year for a hobby. That's honestly not bad. You could literally have, you could literally spend like easily $5,000 or $6,000 on a computer as a hobby too. So top tier rage bait. I don't, you know, it's weird. I don't view it as rage bait though. Unless the person doing it is like egging people on, which I haven't read all the comments. But yeah, I don't know. If they're egging people on, I'm just looking at like the first few. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with people being like, you have a shopping problem or Like, I saw one comment literally as I was quickly scrolling saying that's a real issue you have there. Is it? I would take the title of that as very sarcastic. Tonight I'm going to blow Reddit minds. Oh shit, really? That'll be funny to see. That will be funny. Let's see, where the fuck is my dielectric grease? Ultimately though, like my stance with spending is be responsible, but dude, everyone makes different dollar amounts. Where's my dielectric grease? Some people make a lot more than others, and you know, as shitty as that is to hear sometimes, if you feel a little bit, you know, hurt by that, people make different amounts, and people are allowed to spend whatever they want. Guys, diagnose me with something quick. Testicular torsion. Actually, that hurts so much, Adam. It's midnight where I live. What's up, Fabian? How you doing, man? How do you know? Dude, I don't want to get into details, but it's a thing that can happen when you play sports. The only thing that of that collection that I kind of disagree with are the duplicates. I don't do. You know what though? I own duplicates. I have 2 sets of Crimson Cadet because I wanted on 2 keyboards. I get it. I get the duplicate situation. Alex, I know you have an amazing mouse collection, but what wired mouse do you still go back to? The only wired mouse that I actually still use, and it's a recent addition, is the Endgame Gear. That's literally it. That is the only wired mouse I use still. If you put them sideways and in shelving, like a library, that would be okay. I mean, that'd be cool. I don't know about okay, but that'd be cool. I saw the Ramune 60. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. I like the way it looks. It looks cool, but like, I don't know. I think it's one of those things I'd like to try in person before I buy. Personally. I don't disagree with the collection. I just agree with posting it on Reddit. Well known to be more aligned with budget segment of the community. That's why I think it's rage bait. Probably is in that case for sure. I agree with you there. But yeah, it's a big reason why I just stopped going on a lot of these forums. Again, I've said this in the past, so I'm not afraid to bring it up again. I don't like how echo chambery a lot of communities have become. And this is not just for keyboards. Keyboards is actually one of the nicer areas of hobbies that I've dealt with. But there's a lot of like, even in the audio world, like when I was in that, and even other hobbies in which I still sort of partake, there's always, the more dominant side of the hobby ends up always being like this thing where it's like, this is the line of money that we're allowing you to spend. If you go above this line for whatever reason, we will tell you you're an idiot. And that's kind of like the norm. Even when I was getting into PC building, there was a line that I didn't know existed on certain forums, and then this ends up being like the thing that people adhere to, and I just don't understand. Like, this line shouldn't even exist. You should just be all celebrating that you're doing something. Yes, can you have spending problems in hobbies? For sure. Can you have other issues with certain things? Absolutely. But like, that's not really based on like anything, you know, like that's not like a rule that needs to be implemented by the community. Yeah, plus I agree with what Martin's saying too. Like, Martin's just said people never lambast others for buying a ton of cheaper stuff, but the moment you start collecting higher quality stuff, they get pissed. It's like, I had a comment on YouTube once. I'll never ever forget this because it was probably like the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Someone basically said, I can't remember what board it was. It was a board that was like $400, and someone said, "Why would I spend this amount of money when I could spend when I can get 15 Red Dragon RK81s, regardless if it was troll or not. I've seen other comments kind of echo that, being like, why would I spend $500 on this when I can literally buy 3 QK60s? And it's just like, well, you're still spending $500 at the end of the day. At the end of the day, your bank account, if you're saying that as the option, your bank account still is minus $500. You just have now 5 keyboards that maybe you didn't want versus the one that you did. Just because you're proving a point over quantity. And I still see people argue that whole like, well, I can buy this 5 times over. You know, why would I want to spend $500? Because it doesn't matter. You're not the person buying it then. But yeah, I've definitely seen arguments like that in the past. Value and cost are different things. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of arguments like that online. At the end of the day, again, this is why I don't participate in some of these areas of online communication. I just don't find them very valuable. I have an issue with impulse spending, so collecting is something I personally have a complex relationship with. Likewise, I feel you there. But I'm not going to tell someone else to spend their money. Exactly. This is a weird function, form mentality when people look into the outside for any community. Yeah, which is, dude, before I got into keyboards, I think I've told you guys this too. I looked at other hobbies and I was like, that's dumb. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. And then when you get into collecting your own thing, you're like, I kind of get it. And I think you have to be a bit more introspective and like take a step back and be like, oh, other people like other things. And even within your own hobby, other people like certain things too. So this was 3 hours before the GMK post. No ridicule whatsoever. Yeah. Interesting, right? Very interesting. If anyone's wondering and listening, it's just a picture of a butt ton of keyboards. A metric butt ton, but they're all like more budget friendly, I suppose. Just as much money in that photo than the other one. There are people that just need a keyboard, any keyboard, like a Casio versus a custom Swiss, both watches made for 2 different groups of people. Exactly. At the end of the day, the most important lesson you're ever going to learn is there's different strokes for different folks. That's it. We all like different things. All right. Can you link the guy who is selling the stuff he bought too much? Oh, I don't think anyone's selling anything, are they? Okay, let me get a plate fork because this is craziness. Well, even the person, so Scythe, to challenge you on that a little bit, even the person who's buying like cheaper stuff, dude, if they want to collect it, they can collect it. But I think you have to have the same energy when you're criticizing someone who has none of like the high-end stuff versus lots of the high-end stuff. Like, I think the same energy needs to exist. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just pick and choose like who's good to spend their money on what. And I think that's the core issue. That's like the issue I've always had. And it's funny because we literally said that before I even knew that second post existed. I literally said that. That is hilarious. Collecting keyboards made me totally understand people who can buy 1 to 3K, even pricier bass guitars. Instead of buying a bunch of budget stuff, I'm planning to get 3K string array bass because that's what I really want. Yes, the age-old saying of buy once, cry once. I truly now understand that more than anything. It's also why I stopped buying. Dude, I don't know if you guys have ever done this. Also, what's up, Philip? How you doing? I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but I used to, like in my younger years, I suppose, Unc moment saying that. Let's just say I wanted to get this product here. I don't know. Let's just put, what can I put down? Let's just say this was the thing. This is the screwdriver I really wanted. And it was $500. At the time, let's just say the screwdriver I was only able to afford was like $100. And I'd be like, all right, well, you know what? I'm just gonna get the $100 one, and then I'll save up. But then in the midst of doing this, you're like, oh, a new one just came out that's 120. Well, I only have 120. Let me just buy this one here. But I still want to save up for this $500 one. And then another one comes out that's 200, and you're like, well, I only have $200. And you're like, you're selling these other ones. You know, you're not making your money back on those either. I think there was a switch that clicked in my brain being like, dude, why am I going through all these steps and spending so much extra money on things I don't want and don't even want to keep just to get to this guy? Why am I not just saving up for this guy? And when that clicked in my brain, dude, a lot more things just made sense. Like at that point, it was like appreciate other people's things, like appreciate the space in between of waiting, you know, then get the thing you want. So the only issue in keyboards space for me is that the one keyboard doesn't exist. But yeah, I think that's also like finding endgame is kind of pointless too. Endgame doesn't really exist. You're always going to find something newer that catches your attention. Maybe for some, you'll have that one and done moment. But I've always been a believer too that like, if I'm enjoying something, why would I want it to end? Like, if I am enjoying the process of building keyboards and the people in the hobby, why would I even want to search for the end game? Like, why would I want to be at a point where I just don't want to do anything in the hobby anymore because, you know, I'm so interested in spending X amount of dollars or time finding this like product that's going to make me end my search. I think when you get there, you get there. And I'm never going to go searching for it. I spend already so much money in the 5 months into the hobby, but it's fine, sold mostly stuff from other hobbies to pay for it. Yeah, we all move on in hobbies too. Not everyone's going to be set in a hobby, you know? I believe in you, Alex. Make the Haven60 sound good. I'm going to try. I will do my absolute best for you, friends. I'm not bringing any keyboards to Novel Keys. Not for nothing, guys. I'm already...
Tap Sunday, Alex. It's been 2 months since I last watched you live. Post-uni life has been hectic. Adulting is a scam,
Dude.
But hope things have been going well.
Zach, what's your number one adulting is a scam moment? When did you realize it was like, damn, this is kind of fucked up? I'm curious. What's the blue thing do? It holds the plate in place. Dude, I think being an adult is a scam. Kind of low-key depressing sometimes. No, I haven't even opened the box yet for it, so I don't know what color ADCU I got yet. I think it might be in the Notion page, though. I think they said it. The library of Alexotos. What happened to Init? Nice move. Better to avoid Adam checking out your keyboards. Oh, for not bringing anything? No, I just don't. I'm already stressed out flying and stressed out traveling. That I don't want to. I want to stress out about bringing a keyboard and then getting in trouble. Like it's not something I want to deal with at this point here. Like, I might not even bring a camera. I might just literally bring my laptop so I can do some work and call it a day. That's it. So 9 to 6 isn't true. Commuting just adds up a lot. Dude, commuting freaking... I remember... Like, what's the longest commute you've had to do so far, Zach? Dude, the longest one I've ever had to do was 1 hour and 10 minutes one way to get to work. I hated that. Alex doing the Jade Plus Brass. Oh, really? Dude, that's going to be awesome. I think Endgame and Grail mean two different things. I think you can have several Grail boards. I agree with that. Endgame board just may refer to just the last board you want. Yeah, that's how I refer to as anything as endgame, like the end of your search for something. But a Grail board, I think, is a different story. That can just be something you truly appreciate and you've wanted for a long time. So I agree with that sentiment. My friend once bought a piano keyboard through TSA and they made them play it to prove it wasn't hiding drugs or something. Huh? That's kind of weird. That is strange. Don't border officials check your phones now? Keep reading that in the news. Okay, I think that's always been a thing. I think it's just getting more publicity. Every time I've ever traveled anywhere, even within Canada, okay, the one in Canada I didn't have anything searched, but I've always been, I don't think I've ever had a piece of travel where I've never had to like pull out my laptop. So they usually swab it and they swab my hands or they swab something else. There's been times where they asked me to turn it on. So no, I know what that is too, Adam. So I've always had something similar to that. But yeah, I've always been pulled aside. Like, always. So, which kind of is weird. I don't know why. Profiled? Yeah, dude, for real. They're just trying to find where I keep my maple syrup, dude. My favorite Canadian pop star? I don't actually know. Who's a Canadian pop star? It's the Stash. Matrix boards and artisans in general are an expensive rabbit hole. Artisans are a crazy rabbit hole, dude. Artisans get too crazy. Morgan J. He's not Canadian. Wolverine? Well, he's fictionally Canadian, I think. Within Canada, they specifically asked me if I had something with a keyboard, laptop, iPod. If not, you can leave it in the bag. I think with most places you have to do that, right? Unless you go through one of those terminals. Actually, I got to go through one of those terminals one time. I don't remember what airport it was at, where it's like this really fancy machine where you don't need to take anything out of your bag. They just run it through this machine. I thought that was the most convenient airport I have ever been to. It was so nice. You were literally like, you just walk through something. It was, well, you walk through, take your bag off, and then you just walk through something. It was the most convenient one ever. But yeah, every other airport has like, you basically have to almost strip naked, you know, and then walk through something. But had it happen in Cancun, they needed it because so many people coming in. Oh, the really, really fancy ones? I wonder if they're just really expensive. I would assume so. The newer ones can deal with more material, but the older ones, you had to take out all electronics and metal cases. Yeah. But it's funny because that... So, okay. I'm going to go get it just to show you guys. That one that I went through... So, okay. The one that I went through that was the really fancy machine was the only one that I actually got pulled over because they didn't know what something was, and I needed to prove to them it wasn't a knife. So... this is what they thought was a knife. It's my Peak Design camera strap that sits on your bag that you plop your camera in. And apparently, and they showed me, they were actually super nice. They showed me on the X-ray thing. The inside gadget of this actually has a shape where it kind of looks like it flips out. So they showed it, and then they knew what it was. Like, I showed them it's just like a camera thing, and they're like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then they showed me the X-ray, like, this is why we had to pull you aside. But it's like this, it looks like the inside looks like this. It looks like it flips open. But it's not. It's just like this lever, this like big metal chunk in which this does its like little unclippiness. So. No, this is when I traveled from the United States back into Canada. I don't think I've talked about TSA stuff before. I think I've mentioned this 2 years ago when this happened, because that was a while ago. I don't think we've had a conversation since. They are milky mellows that are modded with 63.5 gram springs, Desky films, and 20520. I wanted to do 205 today.
Modded yellows crispy.
Crispy? Thank you, I appreciate it, Telly. I think the forks aren't necessary, but they're super, super convenient, man. Like, they are so nice to have. So anytime I can use the plate fork, I'm using it. Any specific brands of films? Dude, literally, just buy Deskies or Duroc. One of the two films. I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but I had a friend tell me, like a friend that knows, long story short, I don't want to get into details. Apparently these are made in the same factory as Desky ones. And they're like $4 less for the Duroc ones. So I've literally have only been buying Duroc. I have a few packs of Deskies left, which is what I use today. But I pretty much only buy Duroc ones because they save me like $3 a bag. Those are my go-to. They're foam, and I think they fit most switches nicer. So that would be my usual recommendation. All right, let's solder. Hopefully I have enough solder today. I think we should. I think this is more than enough. Thank God my solder refill comes in tomorrow. Can you film me? Pardonnez-moi? I don't think I've used SWK films. Oh, by the way, Baron. No, I haven't. I meant to message you this morning. I haven't shipped your little extra thing that I got for you. Canada Post is down right now, and the cost via UPS is like crazy for the box that I have. So I'm gonna find a smaller box and try again, or a little shipping mail thingy, bubble mailer. So I'll let you know. Yeah, the Canada Post strike has been super irritating. Is that the sound of the solder? What is, sorry? The fan noise? This is not Kester, no. This is my last roll of this solder. I'm gonna go back to Kester if it goes on sale. I did order a very small roll of Kester, which comes in tomorrow. But this is Weller solder. Honestly, still very good. Can't complain. I really can't. It's been fine. Most of these alternative solders have been totally okay. Which solder smells the best? Huh? Have you ever thought of getting one of those mugs and drawing a face and calling it a Tim Keyless? Wait, what happened? Kester is very pricey. I like you know the brand I really like? I should just order that. A big roll of that is Electrosol. Electrisol or something, whatever it's pronounced. The Weller, though, I don't think I'm going to buy again. As good as this is, the only thing I don't like about the Weller solder, it doesn't splatter at all, which is great. This is super cheap, by the way. The only thing I don't like is, see how it leaves these like white streaks after you solder? The fumes from it leave white streaks. I think it's just the flux that they use. You have to kind of wipe that down if you want a cleaner PCB. So that's the only issue I have with the Weller stuff. It's not really like a true like no clean solder, I suppose. Hope you have a great rest of the Sunday. Bye, Soren. Take care, friend. Goodbye, sir. Hey Alex in chat, I'm sure you've fixed broken hot swap sockets before, and I was wondering, how difficult do you think it would be for someone who has never soldered anything? 2 of mine popped off and I'm thinking might as well learn. Well, okay. Did they just pop off or did the contact pads come with it? If they just popped off, soldering a hot swap socket is so easy. But if the pads fell off too, like if they tore off as they popped off, then it becomes actually a little bit trickier. Yeah, you can still technically repair that. It's just a bit more involved and something I can't just like on a whim explain right now because it depends. It just popped off. Okay, if it just popped off and the pads are still there, like you see like, not just like a copper pad or something, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, you'll just know they're there. Then putting solder on a hot swap socket is actually incredibly easy. It's, to be honest, easier soldering that than anything else. Like it's such a large area you're soldering. I think you'll be fine to give it a go. Even if you're not sure if the pad's popped off, just give it a go anyways. If it doesn't obviously stick down after you've soldered it, then like, yeah, it's broken. And you're gonna have to jump some wires, but are you putting the tip of the solder gun on the PCB? Yes. You just put a small amount of this. I have like a little guide on my website as well of what to expect for soldering. But you're just pushing in the solder a little bit. You don't need a lot. Again, you push it in, let it sit for a second, and then pull off the iron. I've watched some videos and saw people were using wires and stuff, and it feels a bit intimidating. Yeah, again, I would just see if it's the hot swap socket at that point there. Fixing a socket where the pads haven't popped off is so incredibly easy. The more I hang out here, the more I want to order a Paper 80 in E-White. I've been eyeing. Ooh, Paper 80 was nice, man. Hey, if you have the disposable income right now, I don't see why not. That was a really, really awesome keyboard. Why do we not see more boards with joystick/game controller parts? I think they did a joystick style build once. I don't know if people really care for those parts on their keyboards. Oh, Greg, it's not $2,500. You're looking at a different currency. You have to convert it to USD, which it starts at around 320-ish. On the topic of endgame boards, once I had a TGR Jane V2 Me, I thought I was done. I mean, it was by far the best sounding top mount. I was really happy with it. In the end, I couldn't just justify the price point, which is why I decided to sell it. Kind of regret that, but then got a few cheaper boards and discovered that I actually like tactile switches, and that these days you can get a lot more for the money. I think you made the right call. Can I be honest with you guys? Sometimes it's not even about buying the keyboard. It's about okay. This is a really important note because I do feel like as we get a little older, it's incredibly important to have hobbies. I don't care if it's keyboards as you guys get older. You can have whatever hobbies you want. I think it's incredibly important to keep your mind busy. Regardless if that's baking, cooking, building keyboards, I don't know, crocheting. I think it's really important that you keep your mind busy, that you keep your brain active and not just fall into a pit of doing nothing. I think that's even more dangerous. Like, I'm such a strong believer as in just lifelong hobbies. Like, you need to be in hobbies. You need to have something you're doing as you get older in life. So again, that's why hobbies are really important to me. Probably a very specific example. I've seen tons of people as they get older where they have no hobbies, and it turns into like almost this obsession with other people. Like that's their hobby at that point because they can't find, or maybe they just haven't found, or they haven't been fortunate enough for people to be, encouraging with hobbies. But people sometimes get into like the hobby of just like gossip, or like the hobby of like keeping tabs on everyone else. Like to me, those are dangerous. And I think finding something where you don't involve other people and you can really just focus in on yourself, and whether that's, again, whatever you want to do. And also on the side, having a community for that involvement, I think that's really important. So again, I've always been a strong believer in hobbies. But yeah, not to go too much on a side rant here. My hobby is to hate on 65s. That's crazy, you toy. Morning, Mr. Toes? What's up, Gets? Also, Adam wants a compliment? I wasn't ignoring it. I was talking, Mr. Adam. You know what? I'm gonna give Adam a compliment. Adam, I want to say I really appreciate your help with the whole Minecraft server thing. You've been very awesome for that, and I really appreciate you, man. I think you're a good guy, Adam. All right, good guy, Adam. When do I get paid? That's crazy. Yes, a lot of people in my family have that problem. Like, why would you want to waste your time on what other people are up to? I never got it, but then I had to deal with it, and it's maddening. It's terrifying in a lot of ways. I can speak from experience. It's terrifying. Do Milky Yellow Pros really need to be filmed? I think most Gator on Switches do. On another note, the TKL format didn't suit me. I'm a low sense guy and keep hitting the side of my keyboard. Dude, 60s all the way then, right, Neutral? All the way. Also, guys, thank you all for being here watching the stream today. I know it's a nice, beautiful Sunday afternoon, so I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for participating in chat, as always. And thanks for subscribing to the channel and whatnot. I really appreciate it, guys. What are some nice clacky tactiles? Ooh, Gateron Type Rs come to mind right away. I think those are a perfect tactile switch for me. Love the Type Rs. Love them. HMX Firecrackers? Oh, are those good? I haven't really tried cilantros too much. Purple, thank you so much for the
Alex,
tier 1, man. What's up, dude? I know it's beyond 99% of people's budget, but will you be looking at the Seneca? Probably not. It's not even a keyboard that I'm truly like interested in. If we happen to build one for a client, then we build one for a client. But like, am I going to go out of my way to go get it? I guess not really. While I do appreciate more and more EC boards, the Seneca, I guess it's mainly because of price point. Also a little bit just the aesthetics, like they don't really interest me all that much. Maybe I'd have to see it in person to really change my mind. Poker round 2? I wish. Great keyboard, by the way. Great keyboard. We're not quite at Poker 2 level, you know? I think Senecas are all pre-built, yeah. The Milktooth description for HMX Firecrackers is wild. Why, what is it? I'm so curious. I put this switch in my grandpa's keyboard and he no longer... What the hell? That's a description if I ever did see one myself. Amazing. That's something. Is indeed something. Very much so. Alex, when we will take a look at the Neo ADCU? That will be Tuesday. For anyone wondering, I will be posting the schedule in my Discord. If you guys aren't part of the Discord, I mean, you guys can join it if you'd like. I always put my schedules on Monday in the Discord, usually Monday mornings. It's Tuesday. Always. I always do. Mondays I always do. Maybe not always in the morning, but Mondays I always do. Unless I'm like doing something and I told you guys. I try to always do it Monday. Okay, let me wash my hands really quick. Okay. One last question about soldering and suggestions on what I need to buy. Dude, if you're on a lower budget, the Pencil.
Pancakes always better than waffles.
Dude, pancakes? Okay, I almost made pancakes this morning. But we ran out of chocolate chips, and honestly, I really like pancakes with chocolate chips. So I opted to just wait until I had more chocolate chips and not waste my time making pancakes today. All right, PCB is nicely soldered together. Looking good, looking good. All right, so let's start taking this bad boy apart, shall we? DMG on this? Well, I haven't even thought that far ahead yet. Not DMG because the copper? I don't know what we'll use. I was a Gateron Type R kind of guy, and I'm converted to HMX Retro J's. Ooh, interesting conversion there. In a recent 60% convert, I got a Neo 60 core thanks to Alex, and I'm loving it. Split backspace too, it's glorious. The Neo series stuff is really good. The CU series is fantastic. I do think their core series is even better though. If I'm being up front, I love their core series. Only bad boy I want to take apart is you? Huh? Damn. I mean, I appreciate those words. Just finalized my Ramen purchase last night. Cannot wait. What'd you end up getting? Actually, guys, this is a pretty chunky piece of copper. So if you guys are getting the copper one, this is quite the piece. This is indeed quite the piece. All right, so let's put on those little polycarbonate pieces. Oh, dude, the Girl-Kawa edition's so nice. Hell yes to that. Do I have any opinions on clicky switches? Yeah, I'll be real. They're not always for me. They're not always my cup of tea. Sometimes I like them, but most of the time I'm like, there's no real reason why but they're fun. I'll say that. They're fun. Are they usable for me and practical for me? Not really. So I tend to not need them, I suppose. They're all different though. I still want a keyboard that has a steel ruler on the front. The ultimate inconvenience. That's a pretty fun idea, Fish. All right, little polycarbonate blockers here to diffuse some of that light have been installed, which kind of does, even this adds a little bit to that side profile too, a little PC piece over here. All right, let's put some gaskets on now. I'm low-key thinking of building one just for having the lulls. I mean, dude, they're fun to build, and I think you'll really enjoy the process. Yes. I need a command for the Neos ADCU on YouTube. I will be building it Tuesday. Tuesday it will be. Alright, so I really like the gasmet placements for this. I think they did a very interesting change from the last one. If I remember correctly, the last placements for anything was just underneath the spacebar and didn't really make this keyboard sound or feel very great. So I appreciate the changes there. Let's put this in. Oh, this goes this way. Yeah, this goes this way. Thank goodness this ribbon cable is not making it to the final iteration, or else I would have been complaining about this right now. Not that it's very difficult, I just don't like ribbon cables. Alright, one small thing I'm going to bring up. I know this technically aligns in the top case, but I think what I would have done is made it so it's able to align from the bottom as well. But not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Alright, let's screw this together now. What do you think of the Seabass? I think it's lovely. I really like the keyboard. I still want to try those like special tab things for the Seabass. But it is a nice board. It probably is because it's too thin. We'll go over some of the aesthetics again. Before we put keycaps on. The build process of this is very simple though. Very, very simple build process. Yeah, the PCB snaps. I really like the way this board looks. I think this board looks really, really sexy. Let me zoom in like as much as I can here. That looks good, right? Beautiful side profile. I love what they did with the taper. This little seam area, but not really a seam, is like, it's so good. They did such a good job with the side profile of the Haven60. It is a slick keyboard, dude. Very, very slick keyboard. Really, really liking this. What's the official front height on this board? Did they say? 16.5. 16.5 is beautiful for this. Again, we're going to have some LEDs that pop out underneath where we put those polycarbonate blockers. Here is the butt of this keyboard again. This also looks really good. Like, cannot complain at all. This is a slick looking board. And then we flip it over to the bottom and it has just as much character going through it. Like, I love it. You get to see a whole bunch of different materials and layers, and the way the light hits this is just great. What I really like about the Haven series, though, is just these beautiful thin side bezels. I'm always a sucker for as thin as you can get when it comes to side bezels. And it's not always possible, but dude, it looks great. Flores, thank you. I appreciate this sub. Thank you, thank you. How does it taste? Wouldn't you like to know? In it. Haven side profiles are so good. Yeah. Wobbly, I am also a sucker for the Haven aesthetic. The Havens have been always a little bit kind of like mixed bag feeling-wise and sound-wise, but I am really excited to see what this is going to sound like today. I think the milky yellows and aluminum are like a great combination of parts, so here it is from the side view as well, in case you guys wanted to see. On the desk, it is very, very slick and simple. You can kind of see even some of the copper, the light, the color of the copper is like reflecting onto the desk pad here, which is kind of cool. No stepped internals, which I think is an interesting decision. So we're gonna see how this sounds. A little not worried, but a little, maybe worried's a good word. Only minor thing on this, I'm not 100% sold on the outer edges and angles of the back. It's weird because I kind of am. I think that's going to be very much a preference thing, but I think the design language is absolutely stunning. All right, now to pick some keycaps, which I'm not sure what we're going to pick today. So give me a moment to figure this out. Is there an all orange set out there? No, but can I be honest? I don't know how I feel about an all orange set. Orange for me is more of an accent. I don't think I'd personally go for all orange. Orange is like, I think that might be too much as like a base keyboard set for me. For me, it's like I like the enter key or like one or two pieces that have the orange. Kind of like what Mars Cadet did. Mars Cadet did it really well. You want to use cubed? I'm kind of down for cubed today. I still don't know where I put my Dracula set. I tried to find it the other day and I don't know where it is. Cubed is a lovely set, so let's do cubed. Need Crimson Cadet? Do I want to do Crimson Cadet today? Flare? I think I know what set Flare is. Let's see. Keyboard Dad's link? Where's Keyboard Dad's link? I don't see Keyboard Dad's link. Oh, guys, I'm not super into all orange base kits. Like, that's just, even Flare, like, I'm not into Flare. For me, orange is too much. It's kind of like, okay, how can I word this? It's kind of why I also don't like High-Vis that much. Like, it's a cool set, but it's why I never picked it up. There are some sets that I feel like are just too bright, and if I'm gonna pick up stuff, it's gonna be like an accent kit or something. I just think it's a little too much, and I feel like Signet was what color again? I don't remember Signet. I feel like Signet was an accent as well. Yeah, like Signet's a good set too. I don't mind Signet. Actually, I'd prefer Signet over like some of the more like visually punchy sets. But yeah, I'm not like, orange is a lot. Like, orange is one of those colors where it's a lot on a desk as a keycap set. I keep saying that, but I don't have any other way to describe it, and I apologize. Again, I feel better with orange as an accent. That's always been my thoughts with orange. Yes, I agree with that. Less is more when it comes to orange. It's why even when I do things with orange, which I really, really like orange, it's why I do things more as like a sub-color, and it's never really the main focus. Like, even when I've done the collaboration things where like orange is present, it's always an accent. I love how you combine orange and enter escape with your beige set. That is literally to the extent of how much I like orange in the keycaps. It's literally that. That's a great way to put it. Orange as an accent feels like enough orange to me. Anything else is a bit excessive. But we're all allowed to have different preferences. Does this kit have a white enter? I believe so. Oh, maybe not. It only has the black enter, but we'll use the black enter. Actually, it also depends on the orange. Like, I feel like Flare and Orange have really bright oranges. But if it was more of like a pastel orange, I feel like you could use more of that. But again, visually, I think most oranges that people go for are very like in your face. They're a little bit too much for me. I like the second orange on the left in this image. Let's see. Yeah. I really vibe with that. It's like, okay, even my website, if you guys go to my website and go to the build service, like I have a whole panel as orange, and I feel like this looks great mixed in with other colors, but it's never going to be like the primary. Like it's usually split. If I had the whole page as orange, I feel like I'd be like, it'd be too much. The new Milky Yellows, these are Milky Yellows like standard KS3s. So no black bottom, these are full milky. Full on milky yellow. The Half-Life orange on the intro is gorgeous. That was a fun one. Actually, you know what's funny? I prefer orange keyboards more than I prefer orange keycap sets. The reason being is because the keycap set, when you're looking at the keyboard, takes up the majority of the keyboard. If this was an orange keyboard, you can pair it with like a set of black keycaps, and I feel like it's more balanced, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Just a wee bit easier to balance in that sense. Would it be crazy to say go with full purple on this one? Really? I kind of enjoy the accents on this. Should we go full orange? Greetings from Peru. What's the brand of the desk shelf and desk mat? Both Grove made. I would never, like, I think the shelf from Grove made is fantastic and definitely like worth the extra money. I do not recommend this from Grove made. This is like the worst desk pad ever. I don't even think they make this color anymore, but it's like my least favorite desk pad. I just happen to like this color so much. But the moment I find another brand who sells this color just without the Grove made quality, I'm gonna pick it up. You guys don't like the black enter? Should we remove it for purple? Is that how we're all feeling right now? Check poll? When did you run this poll? Hey guys, do you guys think Adam's being funky with the poll? Why is there only 2 votes and it ended? I think he's being a little funky. Enzyme, thank you so much for the prime. Thank you, man. Hold. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's a felt desk mat. It feels good. Like it doesn't really like change up how I feel about the keyboards. Like I don't notice a perceivable difference, like sound wise and feel wise, but it slides around a lot, which is annoying because this doesn't have the protection underneath it. We're using Milky Yellows and an aluminum plate. Alright. Very deep, as I expected. Okay. Here's the board again. One last time we'll show this off. I think this looks, it's a gorgeous board. Absolutely stunning keyboard here. Insanely beautiful. And absolutely crazy. Let's change the side profile. Again, here it is with the keycaps. Very pretty. Let's plug it in and see what it looks like with the RGB, and then we'll do a sound test, and then we'll do any modifications that we need past that. Fits well with this cable too, which is nice to see. I don't know if it's set on like breathing right now or blinking. Oh, I think it just might be my cable. I don't know if it's the PCB, but it's blinking LEDs at the moment. Do I need to flash this, Feather? Your hazards are on? It's not typing either, so I wonder if it didn't go in all the way properly, which I doubt, but... Alright. Probably, perhaps use the extension part? Yeah, let's try the extension. Maybe my cable is putting too much pressure on it. If that's not the case, we're going to open this up probably anyways, but we'll see. Yeah, okay, maybe my cable is putting too much pressure on that. It works fine with the extension port. So with LEDs on, you do get... Can I change this? Is this VIA compatible at the moment? Your cable's so silly. Oh, nice. It loads up in VIA? Wow. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Should we do purple? I think we should do purple, right? Let's do solid color. White? You think just white? White's cool. What about purple? I mean, that looks cool with purple too. The LEDs are fun. From the top-down view, they're actually pretty cool too. By the way, they are bright LEDs. You can slightly see them through the case as well, which is a slight bit annoying. But it's not gonna like take away my keyboard experience here. Just to kind of show you guys what I meant, you can kind of see them through this. You kind of have to move your head though. All right. Let's see what this sounds like. Milky yellows, fully modded on aluminum plate. Gasket configuration. No foams. Okay. Let me tune up the spacebar really quick here. The alphas are sounding super deep. Although, there is a slight bit of metallic resonance I'm hearing. Spacebar about to go nutty. All right, let's see. Definitely some metallic resonance, but I don't know if it's taking away from the board. Ooh. Okay, there's a bit of metallic resonance on this, and I'm wondering if this needs to be force broken. I don't like the way that sounds at all. It's weird. I don't think it's on this side of the case, though. I wonder if... Yeah, I think we need to do something with force breaking this. So let's open this up and find out. It sounds pleasant for the alphas. I think the spacebar is... You might have to go with like a cherry on this. I'll check the screws to the diffuser further, see if they didn't screw in nice. I made sure that it's the right way, but let's see. So yeah, definitely a little bit of metallic resonance here. Which, if I remember correctly, the Haven60 originally also had some metallic-iness as well. But let's check. Let's check if we did everything right, or I did everything right here, which I'm pretty sure I did. And then let's see if there's any fixes or things that we need to modify on the Haven60. Okay, the moment I let off the screws, do you guys hear that? Totally different keyboard now. Even the spacebar has a bit more life to it. No, the screws are all pretty much flush. I'll give them another crank here just in case. Yeah, these are pretty good. They're all the same length, right? Yeah, we might have to force break this. Just give me a sec. Let me just make sure everything's solid with this. Yeah, these are all the same screws. Yeah, they're all flush. These are good. I think it's something cranking down with the case, and I'm just gonna kind of look at it and find out here in a moment. Hold on. I didn't mil-max anything, no. No mil-max today, unfortunately, guys. So sorry. Okay, just to be sure there. Yeah, it could just be that this needs some force break over here. Let's try that. Let's give it a little force break here. Let's see what happens. Can't guarantee anything, but you never know. It's probably Anit's fault. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. I guess let's just do it like this over here. Or you know what, just to not have to use a whole bunch of pieces here, let me just cut these in half. If this ends up being the fix, force break stickers are relatively cheap to add to a kit. So this will be like best case scenario as to what's causing that pinging noise. And it was supposed to be the QCing the boards at the factory. He didn't do his job, huh? Honestly, typical Annette. Very typical. I'm not coming back until I get fed more than water. That's not true, bro. We gave you an energy bar. Like a protein bar. You said, I don't want this, and then you spit it out. Nature Valley? Yeah, not even the good one. The ones that like crumble. The ones that crumble as you eat them. Not even the good ones. We gave you a bad one, but still, it was food nonetheless. It was expired by 3 years. Adam specifically chose that for you. All right, I'm gonna do one more just here and here. So let's see. Actually, maybe I should do one on the sides too, but those are really thin areas that I don't think are making much of a difference. But let's just try one more on both of these sides, and then we'll close it up and see what happens. Nice thing about this is a really easy build, so I don't see like tinkering with this to be much of an issue at all. But yeah, if this all this needs is force break stickers, then this is an easy fix. Like, that sounds really good like that. So, let's see what these screws do now. Well, I ruined the sticker a little bit, so what can I say? I don't want to, like... You know what, Annette? Oh my god. Crazy sticker placement on the top left? Leave me alone, guys. He's still there? What? Just don't screw it in? Oh my gosh. Oh, the Craig Hill scissors. I saw those, dude. I have no extra funds to buy cool scissors. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Just needs some force break. I didn't do anything to the other screws, by the way. I tried to crank them in, but they have nowhere else to crank. So the screws weren't the issue. It was... All right, well... There it is. Maybe this just needs a smidge of a force break. Let's plug this back in. And let's see how it sounds now. So here it is with a little force break mod. Much nicer. None of the pinging noise. The alphas are really nice. I do want to see if I can make... No pinging on the left side. Alphas are beautiful in this. I do think we should probably end up swapping the spacebar here, which we're not going to do today. But you probably could just get away with putting like a brighter switch in there. But I'm going to try one more thing here. Yeah, the spacebar stab probably needs a little bit more tuning here too. I do agree with Mr. Innit. But I also want to see one final thing. But yeah, pretty nice. I think it definitely needs force break stickers. A little bit bright without them. Not in a great way. Let me see something here. Brush. Is this production or proto? I'm assuming this would be a prototype. That's what it kind of made it seem to be. But maybe Feather can give us a final answer there. Okay, the one last thing I want to do is I kind of just want to push these out for a second. And I want to take off these two gaskets here. I also would like to see what it sounds like without that. Also, another little thing, Mr. Feather. Okay, I can see this happening right now too. Which, I don't know if this is... Well, I guess it wouldn't be impacting it. Never mind. That's a non-important detail. Never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. I thought maybe the plate was impacting the top piece over here, but that would be a non-issue since it goes past that and doesn't actually touch it. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we have to do less. Where's the other screws? Oh, they're already in here. Okay, before I went till they stopped, but now I'm gonna just do a very light screw, like torque in here and see if it helps the board at all. Okay, you have to be a little delicate in how you crank these screws. But I did remove the two gaskets sitting closer to the spacebar. They weren't on the spacebar, but Tofu TKL. Oh, like the Tofu TKL? Yeah, a little bit. I would say one minor mod, which you can literally get this to be included, which is the... Oh yeah, I think this sounds way nicer now. One minor thing, which is just putting force brake stickers on and then removing two of the gaskets. I would not really consider this a mod. Oh yeah, dude, this sounds so much nicer now. So much nicer right now. Okay, I do think the spacebar does fall a little short here in terms of like pop, if you're looking for that. But also, yeah, it feels exactly the same. I do think this board has a naturally deeper tone simply because of the big, giant copper piece on the bottom. This is wildly different from Keyboard's build. I hope in a good way. But yes, I don't think we're going to escape some of the deeper tones with a full copper bottom like this. Pretty much a copper bottom. It did have like that thin sheet of aluminum over here, which, you know, kind of like stops it from being super copper. But it's not making a huge amount of difference just because like the tight tolerances this has. I think this actually sounds pretty solid like this. Still deep as hell. but I think it sounds good. It sounds way better. I'm glad I was able to showcase the board in this light. I think it sounds really good as is right now. I do recommend Feather or whoever coordinating some little force break stickers for this. They don't have to be super long. In fact, I would almost suggest Feather to push for a really long force break sticker on the bottom and top. Really thin and really long, just so you can plop it across the whole thing to really make this like isolate it, just because of how many like small parts there are. For the designer of the board, my suggestion, and this is a purely preference-based suggestion, I would maybe consider doing some sort of stepped internals or just different shapes on the internals, not just leaving it completely flat. I think that will help the board breathe a little bit in terms of like sound signature. But if the intention is to have something a bit deeper in sound, dude, then absolutely this is nailing it. I don't think this is a boring, deep sounding keyboard. In fact, I would say this is... It has some character to it. I like actually, you know, it's kind of growing on me, the sound right now. Another note too is just maybe even check the screw lengths of the screws that screw into the case over here. Maybe shorten them by like a hair, you know? But yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm happier with this Haven than I was the first Haven. Hi, Diego. How are you, man? Very, very happy with this versus the original. I think this is a way better Haven. Although, if it was me, as much as I like this copper unit, I would probably go with the stainless steel. I ain't even gonna front. I'd probably go stainless for this bad boy. Quick, unrelated question. What kind of Hall effect boards would you recommend? The one I'm using a lot right now is the Pulsar one, because I'm doing some testing. But my favorite Hall effect board, well, analog board, I'd say, would actually still be the Ducky. As much as people kind of like were unsure of how they felt about that board, the Ducky still wins like best sound, and I like the feel of it. Like, I've just been really happy with those Ducky inductive switches. The Wooting's up there, but for the Wooting, I kind of want to do like a full rebuild. But yeah, I would say those are like my off-the-shelf ones that I would pick. In terms of typing feel for the Haven as well, it's like sort of firm. Definitely absorbs everything quite nicely. I'm happy. This sounds very, very nice in my opinion. The Holy 80 might be happening. I just need to figure out a date for it. Wooting needs a better case, better switches, better stabs, and better keycaps. Yeah, I agree. I don't like Wooting's stock keyboard at all. Can be completely front with you guys. I really don't care for it. It's not something that I go wild for, so not my cup of tea. I do think the CF plate would be really nice on this, but I also think going with the stainless weight, and I think the base version of the Haven60 would probably actually sound better than the copper version. Which, let me pull it up again. I think the base version, you get an anode bottom, and the only stainless piece would be the weight over here, not the internal like we saw. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. The base is alu mid piece. Yeah, I actually think, yeah, okay, I would go watch Diego's because this is a lot deeper. I have a feeling if you guys are into the sound profile I'm into, I think that particular product, which is also cheaper, which is nicer, would probably be the Haven you would want to pick up. But if you want the deeper sound, get the copper. But yeah, overall, still a nice sounding keyboard. I would say those small little tweaks, and it's a great little product here. I think the Haven definitely redeemed itself. definitely redeemed itself from the first time I used it. Which, it wasn't bad then, but it definitely needed tweaks. But yeah, very, very awesome. And again, I do think, believe it or not, this might be one of the few keyboards I would actually say that the PVD really suits this board for how many like layers and curves and shapes it has. I think the PVD version, as much as I want to, you know, not buy into PVD because they're delicate, PVD actually might be the move here. I think that might be the visual flair you want. I did wonder about the plate being top versus gasket. Do you know if buying one extra plate equals getting both kinds? You get both of them in the same box, Diego. So you get, oh, you're saying buying one extra plate gets both. I actually don't know that. If you buy extras, do you get both of the same kind? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, looks like Feather doesn't know either, so he's gonna ask. Okay. That's a good point too. All right. I like my wooden using my Tofu 60 redo, but my sound is way more clacky on the left side. See, I don't really know because I haven't really done anything like that, Z-Rick. So, granite's in a plateless build. Yes, and Milky's. It sounds really nice. It's not muted. They're not incredibly clacky either, though, but they are very pleasant. It depends on the board as well. Like, it's very board dependent. The gaskets are nice and dense, so they absorb extra vibrations nicely. Oh, you preferred the top? I wonder how the top sounds. I don't know if I'd like the top. I'm usually not really a top mount kind of guy. Which boards are those? I would like to watch the videos. I don't know if they're on streams, Casey. I think those are things I've done off stream. Glob wants a compliment. Damn. Let me think of a good one for Glob right now. Glob. If we could right now, me and you would go on a fun adventure off stream, alright? I hope you have a great day, Glob. Please know that we love you. And you're very valued here, my friend. Love you, buddy. Have you seen the Mio Artisan keycap? Yes! I actually will be looking at one soon. The functional clock and the keycap? Dude, that thing is so sick. I've been following that project for like a hot minute, and that is such a sick, cool project, dude. I think actually I might even be getting it in tomorrow. So tomorrow we might be showing it off. It's so nice. But yeah, I've low-key been a fanboy of that project. Little bit. I'm not even into clocks and watches. So, by the way, I was recommending Mudo a few spots in Greater Toronto area. Do you enjoy seafood, Alex? Do I enjoy seafood? I mean, I enjoy it. I don't go out of my way for it, though. But I do like seafood. I do think seafood's really, it's really delicious. Some seafood gets a little too expensive for me, though. And I'm not really one to, go crazy when I go out for food, so I don't have any great suggestions if that's what you're asking. Since you a question... Oh, yes, I will be taking a look after this, Damon. I probably actually have to get going here in a second, guys. Simply because I have some stuff I need to attend to today. But, yeah, I'll be... Here, let me tell you guys the week of streaming, because I think everyone's going to be asking. Alright, here we go. This week, Monday, October 6th, we're doing a double build. I think one of them just might be fixing a PCB, but it's a F18X and a SAT75X. October 7th, Tuesday, Neo 80 CU. October 9th, this is Thursday because Wednesday is no stream, DN Works 02. Friday, October 10th, the ND 104. Pending build for Saturday. We're going crazy with builds. Saturday might be something, although no one's confirmed with me, so I'm waiting. Sunday, October 12th, the Enzo E, which tune in for that one. I hope that still happens this Sunday. Tune in for that one. It's a crazy week, dude. Absolute insane week. And then the week after that, we're doing the Aru Divine TKL, the Smoke 65, and then the Cloud 9 round 2. Or I guess, is it round 3 now? I don't remember what round it's on. And then I'll be going to Novel Keys for a few days, and then coming back after that, we have some crazy builds as well. absolutely stacked weeks. So a day off is okay. Yeah, there's one day off next week. And then I have a few days off after that because we're doing novel keys. So, all right, everybody. Let's find someone to raid. And thanks again for Feather for coordinating this with Kibu. But I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. Let's go find someone to raid right now. Let's see who's online. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks, guys. It's just going to be a very chill rest of the day for me. Probably just a little bit of work here and there, but...
Have like a spreadsheet.
Let's go raid Jay. Oh, that is not how you spell raid. Wait, my backspace isn't set up. Alright, guys. Have a good one. Love you guys. I'll talk to you guys very soon. And stay safe, be happy, and eat some good food today. Bye, everybody. See ya. Love ya. Later.